What the hell is going on here? Yo, can y'all hear me out there loud and clear? Let me know that y'all hear me out there loud and clear. What up, fight fans? What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin, and let's get this party started. Well, there's a lot of things going on in the headlines of boxing right now, such as Tank Davis and everybody, Naoya, Inoue, a lot of big champions, in fact. And a lot of these champions right now are being called all and scrutinized all over social media for getting the fights, not getting the fights in time, or, it doesn't seem like all the time everybody's satisfied and they expect one Superman to come right after the next. Fortunately, even if you were to have put Tank Davis, Loma, Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and the Ryan Garcias of the world at the time to fight each other, what will we have now? Where will we be at right now? If these are some of the top fights still being talked about, even back then they realized, hey kids, don't rush into it. These fights can materialize and they could be a lot bigger than what they are now. And in doing so, I think some of these guys had the right idea and others had other plans. Not everybody met each other at the finish line. Some were undefeated, some got defeated, and some were looking for handouts. That's the sport of boxing for you. And can we honestly say that we haven't been entertained? We have. Tim Tszyu just got a rude awakening. And they try to blame this all on what? Matchmaking? What are you talking about? Matchmaking. Matchmaking puts together the the tough, the best fighting the best. Matchmaking is supposed to get put together the daring to be greats. So when your matchmaking to your standards goes horribly wrong, then the matchmaking was fucked up. So what are you calling Tim Tszyu? By saying, oh, that was too much of a tough fight coming off of a loss, right? Sometimes you got to dare to be great. I don't think that Tim Tszyu um, matchmaking fucked up. I think Tim Tszyu fucked up. I think that Tim Tszyu, even leading into this fight, he might have little overlooked him. And whether he overlooked him or not, this guy, murder check, they're calling it a murder check now. He didn't overlook Tim Tszyu. He did his homework. And a lot of people over YouTube are saying different scenarios of why Tim Tszyu lost and why did murder check win, right? But not saying exactly boxing shit. The reason why he caught him, that man and his team did his homework on the flaws and holes that Tim Tszyu has in his fight plan. They knew he throws that body shot and he leans just like that. He was waiting for that. As soon as he set up to throw that shot, boy, he didn't hesitate to pull that trigger. That's not something that somebody that wasn't training for it would typically catch that mistake. This guy is not that great. That means that his training camp and his coaching won this match for him. And he did the rest. They're a team, ain't they? Tim Tszyu was Tim Tszyu. This guy found a hole in a wrinkle that Tim Tszyu and a bad habit that he has in the ring. And he caught him. But all these other channels, they're talking about everything else but skills. What actually took place? Bro, that wasn't luck. And as you can see, Murtazaliev, he tried to hit him with that shot previously in the round when Tim Tszyu did the exact same punch. He tried to clip him, right? And he touched him on the chin one time, right? But he didn't catch him flush. When he caught up to him, he was waiting for that shot. He was waiting for Tim Tszyu to do that sequence of punches where that he leaned in with that bad habit exposed. And boy, did he check him. Yeah, he did. And then on top of it, right? While Tim Tszyu being hurt, his inexperience for ever being hurt like that in a fight, right? It's not every day you're going to be wobbly spaghetti legs in the ring. But Tim Tszyu didn't know how to tie up. And he started to exchange with him. Even when he came out in the second round, that he started to try to will himself back into the fight. You know, he's starting to tell himself, oh, my legs are feeling better. I'm feeling good, right? And then Tim Tszyu tried to do the same exact punch, bro. He didn't make no correct. He didn't know what he got hit with. First of all, when he got hit with that shot, he didn't know where it came from. He didn't see the punch. That's why he didn't embrace for it. Maybe had he seen the punch coming, he probably would have took it better. But the fact that the shot caught him completely off guard is what hurt him real bad. That hurt him. He didn't know what he got hit with. He did the same thing he's been training on in the gym. He did that same punch again, and he got caught again. He got hurt again. And then he hit him with the straight right, bam, and sat him down. So by that time, he was already hurt. So, you know, that's due in part to Tim Tszyu thinking he can get away with shit. And that he's slick enough to get away with it against these other guys, which the impression would have been like, if you can do that to Tony Harrison, if you could do that to these kind of fighters, right? Then, you know, there's nothing wrong. You've never been hurt or stunned. Why we correct it, right? And this guy and his coach and his team, they must have saw that. And they said, right there's our window of opportunity. Plus, him being a lot bigger than Tim Tszyu. Now, that really doesn't have too much to do with it. Did you both make weight? Yeah. Did you take the fight? Yes. So you're both directly responsible for the outcome. Right? Is he not the champion? Did he make weight? Yeah. Okay. To all of being not, do we discount Sebastian Fundora? Fighters like Espinoza? Do we take away from them because they're just tall? No. These are things you're going to have to deal with. And these are puzzles of fighting styles and opponents and men that this is why we want it. Who's the best fighter in the world? Who is he? What's he look like? I'm not sure the boxing fans are ever going to let us answer that question. Because in the moment, in the time, boxers get so much scrutiny that it's hard to determine. When they're finally gone is when they really get recognition for the fighters they were. But meanwhile, while they're in there doing their job, not too many fighters ever skate out through an entire career where they were loved by everyone. Whether you were the right skin color, born in the right country, you're not going to please everyone in the world when it's a global sport. When you have fans that pick individual fighters, you have reporters that are favored to individual organizations. Sometimes a fighter can be talked up. Somebody can mislead you. because a lot of these organizations and guys that have been here have had ties for quite some time. So, was it bad matchmaking that caused Tim Tszyu to lose this fight? No. No, it was not bad matchmaking. He was in his rankings weight division. He was the IBF champion that was there. He was coming on a title defense, murder check, right? And Tim Tszyu stepped up to the plate. Where do we see foul play? You didn't think that Tim Tszyu was ready for a fighter like that? Wasn't he a world champion that you guys dressed up, that got emailed the belt, made one great title defense, right? And then lost his belt due to an accident, right? So that's your champion. As long as he was champion, what were you calling him? What was it called? World champion? So how wasn't he ready? How was this bad matchmaking? What are you saying about Tim Tszyu? What, he can only fight certain fighters? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you calling Tim Tszyu a duck? Right? All these reporters, and I'm talking about big reporters that have weight in the sport of boxing, right? You could see them on X. Some of these, analysts that have been covering the sport of boxing for a very long time. And they're all blaming it on poor matchmaking. Tim Bradley, really? Really, Tim Bradley? You're blaming this on poor matchmaking. Poor matchmaking is when you see a fight, one guy's a professional, and one guy looks like he just came out of the YMCA. And he gets obliterated. And you guys say, we don't want to see that. Oh, that was horrible. That's poor matchmaking. That's when you can use that sentence. Not in a competitive fight where two men were fighting for a world championship that both men were qualified to be there. How the fuck is that poor matchmaking? Explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old kid. How? Anyway, whenever the guy that was scheduled to win seems to lose, they have all these reasons why he lost. Not because he got outboxed, knocked out, schooled. No. You know what this was? Poor matchmaking. That's what this is. It's incredible. It's truly incredible. My man Naoya Inoue, right here. Listen, have you guys heard? Have you guys heard? Huh? Is this fight going to happen or not? With Sam Goodman. Is it off? Is it on? Is it going to happen? And many even like boxing, a lot of boxers from out there, from where that side of the world where Sam Goodman's from, they're criticizing him too. In fact, now, they're saying, shit, if I can get the Naoya Inoue sweepstakes, what's the problem? You're not gonna make that much money with anybody else, and you're gonna get into a fight. You might as well get in a fight with this guy and share the ring with this guy. And win, lose, or draw, you can say, right, respectfully, I shared the ring with this kind of world champion. And you would think that there would be no problem with what? Talk about opportunities. Opportunity, huh? You're getting an opportunity, and not at one belt, not at two. My man, not even at 3 belts. You're getting an opportunity at all 4. All 4. Right? Most money you ever made. Right? Isn't this what legends are made of? Isn't this what you would think most fighters dream about? Oh shit, I got that phone call. Mama, I'm moving on up, right? We made it, right? No, not these guys. Not these turkeys. No. Listen, it seems like Akmadalia is throwing a monkey wrench in the equation. MJ and his promotional company is putting a halt to the fight, right? Like they really, really want the smoke. But I'm going to explain this two ways. Stay with me. I'm going to explain this two ways, right? Because I see two outcomes in this, right? But let me get to explain. Okay. Akmadalia is putting a stop to the fight for MJ and them, right? Because he's the number one contender to the WBA, right? Okay. He feels like, yes, it's my turn. I should have went. The reason why is because technically Sam Goodman gave up his spot and went and fought someone else. And he made Naoya Inoue fight TJ Doheny. So you had your shot, is what they're saying. You had your shot. That's it. Move out the way. And Sam Goodman is saying, no, but wait a minute. I had an agreement with them, and they told me it was okay that I could go fight another fight, that I would not lose my spot in line, and I would fight them. Which legitimately, that's what they did. Right? Okay. But now Akmadalia and them are coming in. Now, this is the one way. Akmadalia and his team and his promotional company, right, are playing fucking games to me. And want to fight, but they acting like they want to fight under their terms. They act like they want to fight, but they want to call shots. They want to call certain things. They want to be able to dictate how much they're getting paid, not the offer that they made. Okay? And they're moving the goalposts, right? When Naoya Inoue and his team, Top Aaron, Bob Rank, all of them are saying, who the fuck you think you are, Akmadalia? You don't call shots, bro. We running it, right? So if you're not ready on the above date and time, then you're not going to be able to fight. And Marlon Tapales was saying, no, I'm ready to fight, just not at that date or for that price or in that place. Whatever he's asking for, right? So that's one way to look at it. It's one way. The other way I view this is that maybe Akmadalia's promoter just played his best hand. Maybe he pushed Top Rank to get this into a purse bid, to perhaps even get him his little grimy little claws, potentially taking that fight. I'm not sure he could, but, right, put himself in a position where he had a good argument to get his demands. When he asked for the kind of money, whatever it was, they said, hell no. He told Marlon Tapales, watch, I'm going to get you that money. I'm going to get us that money. And now he's threatening and putting in the paper to be the man, because he does have a strong point right now. He legitimately, for as much as his snake these motherfuckers is playing, Sam Goodman did pass up on his opportunity. He did fight a tune-up fight. And for the date that was in question, okay, meaning the problem with all this is that Sam Goodman actually got into the fucking ring in Japan. And he looked at Naoya and said, yeah, I'll challenge you. He said, yes. There was an agreement. I know nothing official, but the sanctioning bodies were notified. People got phone calls. Shit try to got pushed around, scheduled, right? Okay. And when it comes to these organizations, remember, these organizations don't give two shits about the other organization's belt. The WBA does not give two shits what the IBF and the WBO are doing. If the IBF and the WBO messed up their spot in line, guess who's next belt in line? That's we're headlining and technically he's fighting for our belt. But since you're undisputed, all belts are on the line. But guess who's leading? That's what it is. When each time it's a pain in the ass to defend all four belts, as we can see that Arthur Benavid just won the four belts and they were talking about stripping him. I just had one of his trainers that's on Arthur's team, John Scully. I just interviewed him. He was shocked to hear that. And all the things that the IBF are doing. Not even giving the man a week. Some organizations are trying to tighten up on their champions. All organizations are not, they don't care what the other organization is doing. Just put our belt on the line. We're leading. You paying us money on sanctioning bodies for representing the WBA as well. Pretty sure all the other sanctioning bodies get money. I'm not too sure how that works anymore behind the scenes. I was mainly around in the 3-belt era, and shit's changed. Shit's changed, right? Because we even got another belt making its way in, the IBO. And that belt was on the line against Demetrius Bivol and Arthur Benavid, right? It was 5 belts on the line, even though officially this is not a world championship, but it's starting to make some noise, man. It's starting to make some noise. So they're trying to put their belt around special kind of men and women that can represent their title and defend it well. See what I'm saying? So, and that's what makes your belt prestigious, or the men and women that wear it. That's what makes it prestigious, and all to itself. Speaking of belts, right? Boy, man, I got to tell you guys, tonight might be one of those nights I let it out and shit, right? It feels like, in a sense, I'm being like pushed back, like blackballed and shit. All the channels I used to go on to, kick it with, cool with, never had an issue with, they seem not to be like wanting me back, right? Because I guess I made a couple of their viewers came over, but I'm pretty sure a couple of mine went over there. And in this reporting thing, I've never, I've really never looked at it like that. You know why? Because the only way I look at myself, I am my show. I am the person that comes, and if people enjoy and like the content I'm bringing out, you can't replace me. I'm me, right? And I always told them, if you were you and you had charisma, you had your style, and you built your show, and your fans were loyal, they would stay with you. So that was never a question with me, right? So I was going on like just sharing boxing, like real like naive to this whole YouTube thing type shit. And the crazy thing is, they started biting my style. They started like putting belts everywhere, and like you could see them one by one. And the audacity, like, bro, if you saw my setup and did it, I wouldn't say anything. Oh, that's what's up, man. That's cool, right? But like, just turning your back on me like that, like You took like my style, some of my lines I saw, and I was just like, wow, that's real. Okay, I see how it is. This reporting shit is kind of like street, ain't it? And I kind of felt like um it was like I think, I don't really want to say my true feelings because I might hurt somebody's feelings. Then they'll try to like be like, what? You know what I mean? Like, but it's true. It's true, man. And I'm just like, wow. So I see like the competitive in everything in every step in life, no matter what you do in it, I guess we're all competing in one way or another to be at least, or at least you should have that desire, always laying back and waiting life to get better in order to live. I found that was just a waste of time. I was in a space like that where I was waiting for life to get better in order to live my life. So I reinvented myself as, I guess, a content creator, right? And for me, boxing is deep, man. For me, like when I grew up around a lot of machismo men, a lot of like guys that I looked up to that were real tough guys, you know, I saw the respect in it. And then I started seeing the beauty in combat sports. Later on, I might have like missed out on my opportunity because of, worldly things, but I preach to any young man and young girl that are out there that are listening that they don't have to do the same. And I see that the world is very competitive in everything. You can't, like I'm real selective with my words right now, you know. Uh because a part of me a part of me cares because boxing is something that I realize, no matter if you hear me say it or me go on somewhere else and say it, someone comes over here and say it, as long as that the sport is alive, when they're like, we're at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes like to like worldwide sports. We're under hockey and shit, fucking tennis, golf. We're under them when it comes to like boxing and shit. It doesn't It's not every day that you get a lot of these spectacular fights. And since 2023, it's really been boxing has really been making a change, but still getting always criticism and backlash. And I've always thought that was my approach. I always thought no matter where I talked it, the longest you got to hear it, and for a lot of guys out there, it's funny when you think that you're original and you go out and you start like seeing a lot of these channels and shit, and they're like all preaching similar shit, and you're like, wow. I wonder if somebody ever watched me and thought that I watched him and said the same thing or something like that, right? Because I guess in order to have a YouTube boxing channel nowadays, you have to say three things: ducking, goat, and the best fighting the best. You say those three words in any sentence in boxing, I guess you got a YouTube channel now, and you know what you're talking about. You don't have to have 25, 30 plus years in and out of boxing, in and out of gyms, fighting yourself. You don't have to have an eye for the sport, study fighters, study the craft. You don't have to do any of that. No. Just say Jake Paul. You're good. You're good. And just as like as some of these other dudes, I'm starting to see that some of these guys, unfortunately, they got paid agendas. And I had to find out the hard way. What I say is not gonna is not going to be good for them. They're being paid by somebody else to say something different. And if I say anything or beat them in any kind of debate or like, prove them wrong, they're going to want to silence me. They don't want that. They reach out to everybody else I brought to them but me. Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm just like, and then I'm like, yo, what's good, right? They're like, nah, you my man. We good. Yeah, yeah, I got you. At least I asked, right? And they say it's all good. But it's really not. It's really not. And I'm starting to see why. And most of it has to do in part. I shit you not. I shit you not. The reason why I get the most cold shoulders, right? It's not because of what I talk about or my insight in boxing. It's none of that. Because they like talking because of that. It's because of him. Naoya Inoue. It is. If I talk about Naoya Inoue, they're not with that. They're not with it. I've already been told, I've already been notified that I had to make at least 10 to 12 videos without Naoya Inoue in it so that I can get some space in it so that they can see that the guys that they're talking about, because they're saying that I made too many of his videos. Yeah. I've already been told that. I've already been told that if I don't talk about certain fighting, I'm like, how the fuck are you telling me that, bro? We just talking boxing content creators. Maybe they was hinting to something else, maybe to see how far I would go. Maybe I didn't pass the test. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But you know what? I've said all of that to say this. I'm always going to speak what I feel about boxing, and I'm going to try to keep it as as honest as possible. And if you're Japanese, black, Spanish, Russian, Irish, I don't give a shit. If you can fight and you're doing shit like that, boy, I'm going to let the world know. It doesn't matter. But in these games, there are a lot of connections. I'm just not connected with those kind of guys. Not sure I ever will be, I guess. I guess I'm not like them. I guess I'm cut from a different cloth. I can't and I won't stop talking about the best fighters. He's one of the best fighters in the world. And if you really think that I want to join your boy band and stop talking about him, check it out. Go that way. I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine. I'm a young channel and everything, but I'm growing, baby. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to stop talking about the best fighters in the world. It's not going to happen. If you suck, bro. If you a duck, you a duck. And if and if they let's talk about it. Let's talk boxing. Look how they dressed this dude Tim Tszyu up. They put him out there like this, and now they trying to blame it on matchmaking. Let's talk about it. You guys want to talk about shit? Let's talk about how, you know, Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson and all the oh no, he's ducking him, Listen, had you guys scheduled that fight, do you think Shakur Stevenson still doesn't break his hand? Yeah, he breaks his hand. So where's you guys' point? I'm glad they didn't schedule it for that reason, right? But no, no. Oh, Tank's a bitch. Tank's this, Tank's that. All of a sudden, the Russell brother, he's the shit. He's the shit. You know why? Because he talked the most shit on social media. Wait, did he lose? How many losses does he have? The Russ. How many losses does Tank Davis have? Oh, okay. All right. How many belts does he have? How many belts does Tank Davis have? Oh, okay. Well said. from a man that hasn't accomplished shit to another guy that's accomplished at least some shit. Maybe not to everybody's expectation and not mine, because I think Tank could have been a lot fucking better, and he could have fought a lot better competition. He could have been a lot better champion. But since I've never seen that next level, all I've always did was talk about it, but I actually never saw it. So now it's got me questioning, could Tank Davis get to that next level? I don't know. But that doesn't exclude the Russell dude talking mad shit out the side of his neck, which he ain't even accomplished some shit. I get it, homie. You got to put yourself in the mix. Kudos to him for trying to get, like, at least that lottery fight. You know what I mean? But not sure people would have wanted it anyway. Lamont Roach, the Russell. Lamont Roach, the Russell. Same fight. Same fight. And Edwin De Los Santos, get the yo, Tim Bradley is he's out there buying. Let me get two. Yo, my man is stretching. I don't know if they paying Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley's actually a smarter man than that. I've heard him commentate, but I legitimately heard an interview with him saying this shit. Edwin De Los Santos is standing right there. Get the fuck out of here, Tim Bradley. Edwin De Los Santos even deserves a fight with Tank Davis. He's not even in the fucking, oh my God. Yo, these dudes, they say anything, bro. And Lamar Roach don't deserve it. But bro, if the guy that I was scheduled to fight, Loma, pulls out, Shakur breaks his hand, the next available great fight, that's out. Now I got legitimately someone to pick. I'm Puerto Rican. I haven't fought much Puerto Rican fighters in my career at all. In fact, I only fought one. Now I'm older, a little bit wiser. I'm like, yo, oh yeah, you want to make some money, bro? Bro, I'm the biggest fucking draw in all of boxing, in our weight division. I put some money in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? We fight. You try to kick my ass. I try to kick your ass. I give you a shot at a belt. Huh? I just put money in my people's pocket. I'm going to have to knock him out. But he's getting paid. All right? I might just help out one of mine. Right? Have a good Christmas. Right? I'm gonna knock you out. Cause ain't nothing like I ain't buying it. He gonna try to knock me out too. I'm also giving him opportunity. But my fans criticize me for never fighting Puerto Rican dudes. And the minute I fight another Puerto Rican dude, and I say, shit, if I'm gonna give anybody an opportunity, might as well give it to one of my guys. I'm still knock him out, but I'm gonna give him an opportunity. That is exactly where Tank Davis is at. Tank Davis doesn't fight brothers almost his entire career. He don't want no black on black crime. Right? He respected it. Right? I'm gonna knock out everybody else. Now, Tank, you ain't fighting brother. All right, Frank Martin, step up. Come on. There you go. I don't fight brothers. That's why. I don't want to do that. Right? Oh no, Tank, you don't help out the community. He bought his block. Tank, you don't look out for other fighters. Oh yeah? I gave him an opportunity, the next guy. Oh, Tank, you're a duck. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Bro, I just put... You give it to a Russian? Give the opportunity to a Russian. I don't know, fucking Dominican, Venezuelan, China. Don't put no money in U.S. pockets, Tank, because they're going to hate you for it. When you try to help out another U.S. fighter, you know what? You're a duck. Yeah, that's what you are. There's no one else there. Where's the fight at? And Jose at 140? Come on, man. Jose fired his trainer, David the Monster Benavidez, his father, fired him on social media, right? And try to say that he really wanted to fight with Tank Davis when he's locked into a rematch clause with Esau Pitbull Cruz. So that was all cap. That fight couldn't take place because Esau Pitbull Cruz, all he has to do is go, rematch, done. So that was Fantasy Island. Don't even bring that up. Right? So where was Tank going? He fights Lamar Rose, the 130-pound champion, brings him up. And because of the fact that Tank has done this before, fought smaller guys, bringing them up, going up, fighting bigger guys. They don't never talk about that, though. When he went in and fought Mario Barrio, when he fought, even though he fought Ryan Garcia was way bigger than Tank still with the rehydration claw and everything. He's fucking taller, bigger. They all want to beat on a little Tank and say, only point out when the little guy that he fought came up at the time, which in fact, he couldn't get no other better fight. So when this happens throughout your career and you get here as Tank Davis and you're serious about like, come on, fighting the best. I got away from my promotional company. I got a contract with Prime. Where's everybody at now? I'm for real. I want to go forward, right? And now, fucking bump in the curb. Tank, your career can't take a bump in the curb. You kind of did this to yourself by fighting all those fucked up fights back then with the PB. I know you didn't know it was going to turn out like this fucking with Floyd. Tank, I know. I know you thought I'm going to let Floyd do the driving. Well, my career's taking off. He must be doing something right. But as far as your legacy, Floyd failed you. He failed you, Tank. You just became a 2-division world champion a few months ago. You're 29 years old. You only had 1 division. Floyd failed you. So now that when you come up into this, Tank comes up into this situation, the fans have the right. They have the right to look at your history and judge Tank Davis on it. And that's where the scrutiny is coming from. They have the right to do it. Tank Davis's resume and the people he fought are right there, black and white. You can't hide it. And I'm not disputing it. I know bro, I've been around boxing all my life. And I'm going to tell you right now, Tank went through a fucked up little era. Whose fault is it? Tank's, right? But he's trying to get serious. He's trying to he's now about time, the last 2 years. Now you see Tank. Yes, I want to unify. I want to fight all the champions. I want all the smoke. About time he opens his mouth, right? Right? He's getting serious. And his career can't take this speed bump. And that's due in part to how they managed him in the first half of his career. The first half. Shit. Tank's got about 6 years left. The good portion of his fucking career, they did that to him. That's when the motto was, you don't need belts to get the bag. Yeah, you don't need belts, Tank Davis. How's your legacy holding up? In fact, with what you did so far right now, Tank Davis, are you walking into the Hall of Fame? Or are you buying a ticket and coming inside and looking at the men and women that made it? How you want to do this, Tank? This is up to you, bro. And I get it, bro. In a sport where that you're giving the other guy an opportunity to say no and walk away. Like, see, boxing is not, like, just because you say, you, me, you're the best in here, I'm the best here, we got to fight each other. I wish it worked like that. It doesn't. Yo, that guy can say, you know what? I just fought. I'm going on vacation. You know what? I'm having twins next week. You know what? My mother's cousin's sister's neighbor's driver just died, and I'm going to the funeral. I can't fight you. They can say anything. Where does that leave you with your fans that are wanting you to fight that guy? Where does that leave you? And then you don't want to, you don't want to sit on the shelf waiting for this dickhead to get off his family's fucking funerals, vacations, mother, sisters, cousins, neighbor's house, right? Right? Paint it. When he's done with that, he'll want to fight you. So what do? To stay active. Hey, get me this fight. Just because you want to stay active and keep fighting, the fans are going to say, wait a minute, whoa. That's not the guy we want you to. I don't have time to explain this. Again, bro. This guy's mother, sister's cousin's father on his aunt, sister, cousin's side threw a fart, right? And the neighbor's sister died. He can't fight me. All right? So I'm going to fight this guy. And boy, does that fighter get it. So that's Tank Davis' life right now. That's his life. And due in part, I mean, I'm not giving Tank a way out, right? I know the situation he's currently in. But if we look back at everything that Tank Davis did, the fights he did make or did not make, the opportunities he let go by, with all that evidence, it's hard to kind of like be like, yo, Tank, yo, my man, like, you know what I mean? You're not making this easy for me, right? But I get it. I get what's going on. I see the road that was traveled. I'm a historian. I like to know everything that's been leading up to why. Why is this happening? Why isn't he fighting this guy? What's going on with this dude? What's going on? And that's the thing with boxing, that you got to keep track of all these things that happen, so that when these kind of things happen right here, like, no, I'm not satisfied. No, I'm not really satisfied, right? But I get it and I understand. But Tank, you see, by locking yourself into that contract with Prime for 6 fights, for all the millions of dollars, whatever the amount is, everybody seems to say a different amount, whatever the amount is, right? By locking himself into that, they basically own him for 6 fights. By them making the contract, they came into a legal agreement. You're going to fight under their banner, 6 fighters. And Prime is going to get their money's worth. So if you just sit back for a second, Tank's not under GTD promotion or Floyd Mayweather, where that he's going fight by fight, right? And that you never know where these fights, no. Prime has a list, an agreement, what we signed to. There's no way on God's green earth I'm going to pay you $250 million to fight 6 cab drivers that nobody wants to see. I'm sorry, guys, but business does not work like that. And if you think you're going to outsmart these businessmen that have been in business their entire lives, multi-billion-dollar men that have the best lawyers in the world, all of a sudden you're going to get on your couch with your street smarts and finagle the bagel from them dudes. Sorry, this is not the first deal that Prime's ever made. This is not the only, this is calculated by their lawyers and their number guys. If you pay Gervonta Davis this much money, you stand to make roughly this much money. How? He must fight this guy, this. That's where they're going to get their money from. This Shakur shit, that Loma shit, it's going to happen. Prime's going to get their money worth. Believe that. Believe that. And that little 33, 32 mil that Tank's taking, if the guy says, I want more money, where you think Prime's going to get that more money from? Out of the 32, 33 they're giving to Tank. They're going to take a little bit out of that and give it to him. Business. Business. Prime ain't taking no shorts. They going to do what they do for business. They going to make what they made off whatever fight. Cool. That's why we got a 6-fight deal. Technically, out of that 6-fight deal, there's only one fight they're waiting for. Because only one fight is going to make all that money. You better believe it. And that goes to show you how much money these guys really actually make. How they just started, like, every year up the contracts in NFL and baseball. You're saying to yourself, if they're paying a player that much money, what are they making? What are they making? That they can pay a player $210 million for 6 years. Basically what they paying Tank Davis. You fight one fight every year for 6 years. You just made 200. You just made it a major league contract. Yeah. How much money are they really making? So that's the business standpoint to a lot of this shit. And I think that we're going to get these fights. We are going to get these fights. I like the Lamont Roach fight for Tank Davis because it brings a guy to fight Tank Davis that wants to take everything away from Tank Davis. The from here on out, really, to tell you to keep it funky, anybody that beats Tank Davis takes everything away from him. And you have the potential of being that next superstar because of what Tank built, what Floyd helped Tank build together, right? It is what it is, right? Lamont Roach is thinking in his head right now, what if I can pull one of the biggest upsets? Tim Tszyu, 6-1. Murder check with 6-1 underdog going into Tim Tszyu. 6-1 underdog. And he blew Tim Tszyu out of the water like if Tim Tszyu was the 6-1 underdog. Tim Tszyu was the favorite. If Lamont Roach can come into that fight and surprise, had he come in and surprise Tank and beat him, shit. No wonder he took the fight. I don't give a fuck what anybody would say about me if I was Lamont Roach. Fuck all of you. I just got the biggest fight, and I'm going to try to change my start. Yo, check it out, right? Technically, had this happened, right? Lamont Roach was the 130-pound champion of the world. By defeating Tank Davis, he becomes a 2-division world champion. That's a real belt Tank got now. Yeah. He beats Tank. Yo, he walks away with the millions, the belt, another weight division, like everything, star status, everything. And then you know he's going to hit the rematch. He ends up shocking the world and rocking Tank Davis. Would you think a rematch is not going to be put in place? They're going to shoot a rematch. More money, more money, more money. So if you're Lamont Roach, do you say no on the opportunity? If you're Lamont, you say you're going to, you know what, man? Nah. Everybody going to criticize the fight because I'm coming up in weight and ain't nobody going to like the fight. So you know what? I'm going to pass on the fight. Bullshit. Bullshit, right? Lamont Roach got that call. He was like, yeah, we hit the lottery. How you hit the lottery without playing a ticket? You don't even got a ticket? I ain't got a ticket and I hit the lottery. What? yo, yo. It's just real remarkable. And then these guys right here, like Naoya Inoue right now, man, I feel sorry for these guys in the situations because they work so hard to get the recognition, amongst all fighters and everybody you work with, and the respect as of a champion, right? They work so hard to get there, right? And no sooner that they get there, they're called all kinds of names. Naoya Inoue is a duck. He's cherry picking TJ Doheny, not the fact that Sam Goodman pulled out. They had to get a last minute replacement. No, don't acknowledge that. Don't acknowledge any of that. He personally picked them. This is what he wanted. He fought this guy after Luis Neri. No, he wasn't fighting TJ Doheny after Luis Pantera Neri. He was supposed to fight Sam Goodman. He pulled out. But, hey, and if guys like this are best of the best, the Terrence Crawfords, the Tank Davises, the Shakur Stevensons, the Errol Spence Jr., the Naoya Inoue, if those are the best fighters we have, and each of those fighters have been criticized for picking cherry picks. I'll add Saul Canelo Alvarez. Cherry picks. The best fighters we have, whether you realize it or not, the back and forth, this is how you're identifying these men. Oh, the other day, the kid at a carnival came at Devin Haney, right? I say the other day, a few months ago, and Devin Haney took a shot of the world seen it, right? Is that where fans think they're going? That they call Devin Haney pillow fist all over social media, a cherry pick, he got rocked, that a kid working in a carnival had enough balls to argue or even potentially take a swing at the undisputed champion of the world in boxing? The world had that guy so convinced that Devin Haney's a what? A bitch? Bro, that is a professional boxer right there. And you legitimately think your skills working at the Ferris wheel, collecting tickets day in and day out, probably smoking weed, drink. I don't know what he does. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he was a good kid. Maybe he ran. I don't know. But he was obviously working at a carnival collecting tickets. And you think you have enough skill that you were going to punch or threaten the undisputed. That's how social media got people. That's how social media got people. That they're really walking up to their favorite rapper or their favorite or the guy that they don't like in boxing or mixed martial arts. And fans are walking up to these people, debating with other fans online for months, and they venture out and try to go confront them. Are you okay? Did you really think that out? You mean to tell me you just went to search for Mike Tyson and you're going to tell him what? Are you going to smack him? Because everybody said this about this fighter. You decided this is what you want. Social media got people fucked up. No training, no amateur, no fighting. You're not a fighter. Probably a street fighter. Probably might be a tough guy. But you got convinced by some chats. You the best. Some of these dudes, you should see them on social media. They're challenging each other. I'm not playing that. I'm not a circus. I'm not a wind-up doll. You guys, I like it. I get my popcorn and I watch them. Let them do that shit. Me, in the pursuit of trying to report boxing, started going kind of down that hole. And I had to like snap out of it. I was like, bro, how many times did you criticize people for being like microphone warriors? Like in the comfort of their own home, in front of a microphone, they'll say anything they want because they realize they're safe. You know, you ever been on a phone call with somebody? You have to stop yourself. You got to remember, it doesn't matter how tough you talk into that phone. You could say the most killer shit into that phone. That doesn't define you. That's like somebody walking in my house with a mask on or something, thinking I'm gonna get scared. I'm from a different place. I've put on my mask myself and went trick or treating. Right? These things are like these tactics doesn't make you any bigger than what you are. You just and I've criticized my fair share of people, and believe me, I'm changing the narrative, meaning the situation. There's other places I've been in my life where I told dudes, don't talk while the door is closed. No, wait until the door is open, walk out in front of me, and if you don't want to make a show, we can go over here by ourselves. You see? And that's basically how I look at another man. Shame on me, though. A lot of these guys are teaching me a whole new way on YouTube. Boy, you should see and hear some of the shit they be saying. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to pull up. I'm in Chicago and you're in Russia, but I'll be there in the morning. Like, yo, like it's unbelievable. Yo, I crack up. I'll be like, nah, grown men don't do this. Where do they make these kind of men from? Where do they come from? Like, you can't get away with some of that shit. Like, I'm like, you crazy? Like, but you got to catch yourself as a man, no matter where you're from in life. When you see yourself raising your voice and arguing with somebody and you're starting to yell, that's yelling is a sign of weakness. When a man yells at me or he tries to get loud, it's a sign of weakness because then I know he lost control, right? In debates, yelling is common because when you're debating something, it's typically one guy trying to overtalk. So it's not applied in a scenario like that. But if you're like typically like, you know, in an everyday life thing, and then all of a sudden you're like in a classroom or in a debate with a teacher or some shit or whatever, something happened, and all of a sudden, um, the guy next to you starts to yell. You're looking at the teacher and you're like, he's trying to overtalk you. And then all of a sudden he's yelling at you. He has nothing else. He has nothing else. Now, whatever point he thought he got to in his head, he's going to raise his volume of his level and start yelling and focusing on that one thing. He has nothing left. They've lost control of the debate. They've lost control of themselves and they're no longer processing or thinking to talk. Now they want to lead by aggression. And in my fucking experience, you don't get shit done, bro. You don't get it done. So I be laughing at some of these guys in the channels, but really, realistically, my father loved boxing so much, and I used to see the passion that he had for it so much, and so that it took me so much life experience to go around and to really everything to come like full circle for me, and like just see you know, like, damn, man, I really wanted to be that dude, man. I wanted to fight. I kind of let it slip. I just let it slip away, man, for other worldly things. Fast money, fast cars, fast women, you name it. You know, I just didn't make the right decision. When it came full circle, I saw like his passion and the love for it. that I started realizing and recognizing how not easy it really is. You know, you think you could just because you knock out somebody in your neighborhood and shit, you're good, you could do this. But boys, it's so much different in that freaking ring, man. You know, and it kind of like takes away your ability from a street fight, right? Street fight, you're still thinking I can still pick him up at any time. If I want to, I'm gonna grab his hair. Right? Right? Because there's options, right? But in the boxing, once you put them headgears, you start to realize, shit, I can only do this. Sometimes you realize that that famous 1-2 that you hit that one dude with, fight was over there. You threw the 1-2 in this situation and he was still standing. You were a little lost. What do I do now? You know what I mean? That's the beauty of boxing. That's the beauty of training, learning, and one day actually fighting outside of boxing that you realize everything you did in the gym, that shit works. The day you realize that the stuff you've been training in the gym with the gloves on and you use it somewhere, that was surreal for me. I think that fucked me up. That's I was like, this shit works. Everybody getting it. Yo, right? So no, but that's a crazy moment, right? Because for a long time when you're a kid, I don't know if you guys ever trained a box, but I have. And like, you know, you're doing all these amateur fights. And I've been in a couple of fights in the street with my friends or whatever. We're 9, 10 years old. And I really consider that like knowing. But there was a long period where that I was training and I was disciplined and dedicated to the gym. I wasn't hanging out with the homies. I wasn't smoking the weed. I wasn't drinking. Wasn't doing any of that. Right. And for like a long period of time, I was training. And in between that time, I started aging a little. So I hadn't had a street fight in a little while and I didn't realize it. And all of a sudden, you know, all those trophies started stacking up in mom's house, you know. And my brother had some and I had some. And, you know, we had our little trophy collection. It was getting bigger every year. And then, you know, you start getting a little mustache on your face and my fights were in the gym. Then that one day happened. He was pretty big too. He's nice size. And everything came together. He said, I said, slip. Wait a minute, wait a minute. I seen that coming. Slip, slip. Hey, hey, yo, it was crazy. And it was like Miyagi, Karate Kid. It was like it all clicked for me. It all came together. And that's kind of how like I had you know, my love reinvented for the sport um, and being a content creator, it all came full again. You know, it was I was watching a fight, and guy was like, he did this. I was like, no, he didn't. He did this because this guy did this, and I started real. I was just like, yeah, man, like I know a lot more than what, and it's kind of like you find yourself or reinvent yourself in another way, you know. But it was all experience in my life that I didn't really realize that I would get here. I didn't think I would try to be Howard Cosell one day. I never, that never dawned me on my mind, not one time. You know, the fact that I wouldn't mind being Howard Cosell, right? Right? So, you know, is what I want to keep alive and I want to keep covering the sport of boxing. And I'm asking you guys to really hit that like button, really like share these videos. And I'm gonna have to start putting out more videos and shorts and shit and really get this algorithm thing going because I feel like my content is not, you know, it's not bad, you know, but it's just that I've just been going live so much. So when you see my videos come out, support the videos, like the videos for me. I'm gonna really start locking it down now. So I'm gonna go live still, you know, but it just not might be like 6 days out of the week, you know, and because I'm gonna have a lot of different work and I have to really start like locking this shit down and getting with the algorithm and getting all these shits. A lot of people told me a lot of different tips and stuff, and a lot of people told me some things maybe I didn't want to hear, But it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Yo, let me answer all you guys' this question. Yo, Blade in the building. Yo, my freaking soundboard is down. I would be hitting you. I don't know, man. Shit's not registering. I might be able to pop it up. Hold up. This happened to me before. Let me see. Let me see what you guys are saying, man. Oh, what's up? Bad matchmaking for a combat fight. Yeah, so you would give him Charlo? Ain't no bad matchmaking. And there's no matchmaking. I know you probably typed that when I was talking way back then, but you heard what I said about it, right? My man Tim Tszyu is a champion, bro. What are you saying about Tim Tszyu? That he only fights certain guys? No, after a loss. Well, he didn't get knocked out in that loss. He got a cut. You know, there was an interesting thing that Tim Tszyu went through um, a moment in that fight, right? That I have no proof of this, right? I really don't have any proof, but I think he might have like be experiencing like there's a symptom, right? I forget what it's called, where like a fighter can experience something traumatic in the ring, and if he goes through that same sequence, he might think in his head that the moment's happening again. If you go back and look at that Tim Tszyu fight, right, real closely, they collide heads, yeah, right? Him and Tim Tszyu collide heads. The moment he collide head, just it happens so fast, right? But watch it. Tim Tszyu goes like this, and he checks to see if there's blood. He sees that there's no blood, but he feels blood coming down his face. I know he felt it, right? Because he wiped again, right? No blood. When he went to engage to tap his thing, he went like this and wiped it a third time. Again, he went like this. So he went to push it back. His head was already registering a cut. His body was already telling him he was in danger of losing, which could have caused him to be anxious and to pursue Masvidal when he didn't even have to be aggressive that early. When he got that cut with Sebastian Fedora was in the second round. I'm telling you, this is a real fighter shit. It happens to fighters. There's a real name for it. I just can't think of it. It's wet something. I don't know if is it wet brain or it's something. I forget what it is. But it's a trauma that a boxer you can experience it. And you're gonna think that the same and it was like it kind of like like I was saying to myself, maybe that made him make those mistakes. That's why he was so aggressive. He said to himself, I got to step to Sebastian Fedora before they stop this fight because of the blood. When he got the head clash, his body might have told him, you got to hurry up and get in there. And he got sloppy. One of my assessments was that, and I was thinking about saying it, which I actually did, right? But I was like, man, that's real complicated. A lot of fight fans might not understand that and shit. But if you do, and if you guys, and if you any of you get what I'm saying, that's trauma to the head. That's he was concussed. Um, he wasn't thinking right. He got punched right out of his game plan. That's what the fuck happened. In a nutshell. That's what happened. That's what fucking happened. Yo, he hit him with that shot, and his game plan went out the window. But the headbutt is what caused it. The headbutt, he, yeah, he thought his head was split open again. Now, whether or not that happened to him, I don't know. I don't know. I can't definitively say that, you know, but I've heard of these kind of situations. I've heard people talk about them, you know, and I know it's a real thing. Whether or not that happened to him, it was something that I thought of, and I wasn't quite sure how to bring that up, and I was like, what I mean? Am I making excuses for Tim Tszyu here or not? Like, how does this go? So I really didn't want to bring that up, but I thought it was important, and it was something that crossed my mind. It was something I couldn't avoid it. I was just like, man, when he collided, he kept white. He saw there was no blood. He had to. There's no blood there, bro. Did it again. Then he went, and I was like, no, that headbutt fucking concussed him. Maybe he wasn't ready to come back to fight. Maybe the doctors and the people that know best was right when he wanted to come back on that Tim Tszyu card, and they were like, no, the test we ran on you after putting the 15 stitches in your head, you had a major concussion. Not everybody responds from a concussion like the next person. You can get a concussion, and I can get a concussion of the same kind, right? Which they'll consider amount. But who really fucking knows? Did you get hit a little bit harder than me? Or did I, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. Everybody's not the same. So I thought that played a big factor in the. I can't, like I said, I can't fucking definitively say that, but yeah, it's a possibility. I'm gonna throw it out there. Drop the link, bro. I got you. Drop the link. I didn't see that. Oh yes, I'll drop the link. You want to come up and talk? Not a problem. Want to keep it kosher? Just a talk conversation? Not a problem. Want to debate? Not a problem. You know, invited guests. Mi casa es tu casa. I will drop the link. Absolutely. Come on, Linky. This fucking button. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Duh. There it is. Bingo. Yeah, I know, man, but he was my man and shit. But there was two dudes in the chat that day with H Money. They just sound alike. When we started fucking, yo, I remember, bro. I had one too many tequilas that night. I sure the fuck did. And I came on, flipped my thing on. They was on. I was like, yeah, let me go in here and debate some shit. Right? It wasn't on my show. So I was like, cool. I could go on his, right? And we just got into that. You saw how I was, bro. I was cooking them. But you know what I mean? Debates, baby. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't mind somebody coming through talking about boxing, getting something off their chest or saying something about particular boxers that they feel that, the world of boxing should be like, yo, I got a safe platform right here. Come on, speak your piece. I'm not going to fucking lash out at you or judge you. You say something that me and you don't agree to. You know what I'm going to say to you? Thank you. Thank you for your opinion. That's the way you feel. That's the way. Who am I? Not unless I'm trying to change your mind. Am I trying to change your mind? Then I would let you know. No, what you're saying is fucking absolutely bonkers. You know what I'm saying? And like, whatever. Like, Like if you came on and said, um, uh, Rolly Ramirez will beat Tyson Fury, like I would just now that would be something that I'd be like, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I cannot agree with that. You know what I mean? Oh, I would destroy him. Of course, I would destroy him. Of course, I would. But I was coming on his shit. I didn't want to like disrespect the host. And in fact, I was rocking the host and I didn't even know it, right? I was just like in my own world. Like he said some shit that I was like, man, listen, right? But anyway, it was what it was. Oh no, 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 no. I see that's where the conversation starts to get turned. It was ain't nobody scared of nobody behind no goddamn mic. You know what I'm saying? When you should really fear a man, is acknowledge the situation when they're standing in front of you. Now that's your choice if you want to be feared or whatever, but you don't pay attention. I've been chewed out before in my life. I've been wrong before. It meant nothing. As soon as that was over with, I never thought about it again until you keep bringing it up. But it's like I was never scared or fear to debate or argue anyone. If I was scared to debate anybody on a boxing show, I wouldn't do this right here. I welcome the challenge. It's just that as a real I can admit my wrong. I can admit when I was like, oh shit, I fucked up right here. Like I didn't double down on my bullshit. Like I recognized the mistake and I was like, yo, you know what? My bad. I apologize. You know what? I'm out of here. Oh, you know what I mean? I left, right? So, you know what I mean? Like I just didn't choose to when I went in situation, I just trained myself like that. You know you was wrong, E, in that day. Okay, I'm gonna give you that one. Now you got a choice after I already told you that I was wrong and I apologize. If you're in my face and I've already apologized, you keep pushing it or you keep thinking that just because my apology means that I apologize that I'm weak or something, then go ahead and make that fatal mistake if you want to. Because after I apologize once, I owe you nothing. And that's just real talk. But as a man, I could be like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have, but it's just on some G shit, like straight up and down. It wasn't an argument that I got into, then I backed up and apologized. I was arguing with the wrong person on the assumption I was arguing with someone else, and I happened to be arguing with this guy. You see, that's when you know inside yourself, oh shit. And that's where the apology came. The apology didn't come out of the debate. Fuck that. The apology didn't come from my point. No. The apology came from my ability to be like, what'd you say your name was? I was like, oh shit. I was, you see, that's where that came from. But that's all I owed you. The argument, shit, I was winning, but that's all I owed you. And like I said, if I'm man enough to take my side of the street, my responsibility for my actions, I've already given you my apology for it. Anything after that, what's up? I told you I was sorry, but that's just like I was in a fight one time. This shit really happened to me. I was in a fight one time, bah, 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 and I forget how they broke us. They was breaking us up or some shit, and punches were being thrown. All I know, I punched somebody else. Pow, right? So it wasn't even that day. Like the next day, I was in school and he kept telling everybody that I hit him and that he had like he kept kind of, I guess, throughout the day, thinking back, looking at it, he probably had to explain why he had a bump in his eye. Oh, this dude punched me. He punched you guys fight? Nah, he didn't punch me like that. He was fighting somebody else, then he hit me. So what you do? Oh, nothing. So I guess he felt some way. So he comes up, he tells me how he feels, and I said, listen, my man, look, I apologize for hitting you. I wasn't trying to hit you. I was trying to hit him. You should have been just fucking staying out minding your goddamn business, right? But you want to be motherfucking break up the classroom fight guy, right? So you got hit. So I'm going to tell you one time, I apologize for that. He kept running his mouth. He thought for me saying, yo, man, my bad for that. He took it as a weakness. Boy, I ended up beating the shit out of him. Why? He kept wanting, all right, okay. I mean, but you know, recognizing my fault and some things in my life has really helped me to avoid other situations and problems. And for the most part, it works out for me. People take the apology and, or whatever. And, if I stop knowing when I'm, sometimes for the most part, it works out for me, you know, sometimes it doesn't work. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. But yo, fight fans, man, thank you for staying on, tuning in with me. Please support the channel. You know what I'm saying? I love doing what I do. I want to continue doing this. I'm starting a little bit of a fund to put to make plans to go out to one of the next fight. Now I'm gonna have to get the hotels, the tickets, shit like that. That comes out of my pocket. So if you can drop donations down to the channel, it would really support and help me get out to these fights, to interview these fighters, to bring you guys more content and to meet more fighters. I brought 4 interviews with the help of a good friend of mine, Jose Camachito Rivera. And I'm thankful for him. And his brother that I don't talk about enough on my channel, Jose Rivera, the champion of the world, okay? Because he won a legitimate title, So, and as a matter of fact, John Scully, the trainer with Team Arthur Benevitt, right? He's the guy that trained Jose to his first world title. In fact, if you watch the interview and you pay attention, we mention it. So anyway, fight fans, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking the buttons. If you haven't, liking the buttons, liking the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to click that bell icon. It'll notify you when I go live and all the videos that I download. So fight fans, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Yo, you guys have been what? Thank you. Hit that like button, man. You guys have been the best. Peace.